Welcome back, everybody. Matthew C. Scaro.
Deji Kufariji.
And we are here at MMA in the Basement. We've got a whole new set. We've got new audio, new backdrop, new camera, but it's the same two guys you always know and love talking about pugilism. So, let's talk about 2017. Kind of a lackluster year, in my opinion, for mixed martial arts. Deji?
I'm in total agreement with you. I think that last year, the only thing that came out of last year, I think the last couple of cards, you got that Cowboy versus Nancy fight that came late in the year. That was fun. There was a couple of cards there at the end, but the biggest thing, it was in boxing. That was McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather. Besides that, last year wasn't that great. What I will say is that this year is turning around, and I really do like the young crop of talent coming into the UFC right now.
I agree. I feel like this is going to be the year where the new guys come up and kind of make a name for themselves. The Tony Fergusons, or I actually hope Khabib Nurmagomedov, if I said that right. Who else? The Nico Montoyas, maybe?
Zabit. You have Ortega.
Ortegas.
Max Holloway. You have the last style bender. The guy from, I think he's from New Zealand, Nigerian background,
sure.
Adesanya. He's dope. But I really think if to backtrack just a little bit, why the UFC has had a bad year is because there is no more competition. There is no more Pride. There is no more Strikeforce. And Bellator is not really the same as it used to be under the last regime, you know. So I really don't think it's pushing the UFC to be at the top of their game.
Yeah, I kind of agree. In a lot of ways, I wish that they hadn't bought out all of their old competition.
Yeah.
I remember, was it Strikeforce that they said? No, it was Pride. They said they weren't going to kill Pride, right? And then they went and they did kill Pride.
Yes.
Yeah, and here we are, and you're right. I agree, man. You know, there's not a whole lot of competition, and maybe that's why. Maybe competition is a good thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to have to change here. I'm hoping that they get a good new crop of guys and they can build these backstories behind them. I think that's what has to happen, but it's just not quite as interesting with all of them.
I'm in total agreement. And the thing about Bellator, it doesn't have an identity anymore. Mm-hmm. It used to be the tournament MMA spot where you go in there and you'd be able to watch a tournament all through the year and follow guys and meet new people. And now it seems like it's more of the Ross for less and the Marshalls of MMA, where they just have like old, like last year's styles, you know, and they're trying to repackage them and sell them at a discount. I just think that under Bjorn, I know it was a cruel regime, and he was, you know.
We got to stop calling it a regime, man.
Come
on, a regime.
It was. I mean,
leadership, management.
Yes, he ran the company how he saw fit, and like I said, there was an identity there, right? Mm-hmm. So Bellator used to every year in, year out, from 2011 to 2013-14, they would have the best submissions, the best knockouts, and you would be like, whoa, what is this product? You know what I'm saying? I mean, Strikeforce was creeping, and it was pushing the UFC to get better. Look at all the UFC champions, or people that in the last 2 years that were champions, they came out of Strikeforce, you know? But getting back to Bellator just seems like they just want to rebrand these old fighters and push them on the hardcores. As you just heard, Ortiz is trying to re-sign, and Chuck Liddell is trying to re-sign. I can't see those fights really doing anything to the UFC except for them saying, "Look at that. That's
well, they're money fights, right? I mean, these guys need the money.
Yeah.
They want to fight, I guess. You know, Chuck Liddell, he should not be getting in a cage ever again, in my opinion.
Augusta Wynn knocks this guy out, and I feel bad for his health, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it was just knockout after knockout, and that's why he left the UFC.
But what if he comes back and he's an absolute killer? What if he's the old Iceman, knocking people out when he's walking backwards?
I don't see him having that same route back to the UFC like a Arlovsky did.
Yeah.
Remember how Arlovsky was getting knocked out? He went to Strikeforce, was getting knocked out, and all of a sudden he rebranded himself, and made his way with some really nice signature wins.
Hey, to be fair, a lot of people said that Arlovsky would get knocked out in a pillow fight, and here he is taking shots. And who the heck did he just beat the crap out of last week? He looked so good.
He was a wrestler last week against Struve. So
Yeah.
at least he's had some losses, but to get back to the UFC, to get back in the eye of the MMA public, he did really push himself through a couple of organizations and got wins. I don't see Chuck Liddell doing that. For those Chuck Liddell fans that want to see him, it'd be nice, to have him make a reemergence, but I don't want to see Ortiz, and I definitely don't want to see Chuck hurt.
Well, you know who needs to make a reemergence and is still in his prime is Conor McGregor. Conor, where are you at, buddy? Nobody's even talking about you anymore in mixed martial arts. Are you going to fight in boxing? You're going to have an MMA fight? What are you going to do? Because Deji is sitting here telling me that you're irrelevant.
He's Mr. Irrelevant right now. Hasn't fought all last year in the sport of MMA, right? This year, we see him on Twitter. We see his antics in the public, but we don't see him fighting. And he held up divisions last year. Everybody was like, oh, Conor, we want that Conor fight. Because Conor brings in the dough. But it doesn't seem like he's going to make a comeback this year, even though he said he might. Right now, to me, I want to see Ortega fight for the belt. I want to see the champion. Who's the champion of 155 right now? It slipped my mind. It's a fight. It's the interim belt or the official belt.
Right.
I like Khabib. I like Tony. I want to see those guys fight. Conor, when he comes back, okay, we'll see where you fit in. But right now, he's irrelevant. He's just holding up everything, and it's just a talking point that people want to bring up his name. But I think he's done for right now. I don't want to hear about him. I don't want to talk about him because it's a waste of time.
All right, well, we got a big card coming up next weekend. We're going to see the return of Fabricio Verdum. Not really return. He hasn't been gone that long. Yeah. But I'm a big Fabricio Verdum fan. I'm hoping he wins, man. I want to see him get back on the winning streak. I know he can't beat Stipe. I know that there's no one in the heavyweight division who can beat Stipe.
Okay.
But I'd like to see him do well.
It's a Volkov, I think he's fighting.
Right.
Yeah.
Who was great, by the way. I saw him in Bellator when he fought Brett Rogers, and he's got great boxing. He really is. He's a good fighter.
But you know what? Verdum has closed that gap against on stand-up fighters. I mean, the flying kick to Travis Brown.
I love that.
But he's really improved his game. So stand-up fighters can't bully him and make him want to go lay on his back and invite him in. They're going to have to get past his striking. So I want to see Verdum win too. I do think he's a mainstay in the heavyweight division. I think he has the ability to get back to the top and fight for the belt he lost against Stipe. But that's one of those divisions that we need new talent. We need more talent. So it'd be nice to see a Volkov win or see some new guys in that division, because heavyweight, no matter what organization it is, it's a really shallow division.
I agree.
It's almost as shallow as Cyborg's division.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot like the flyweight division, where you have a guy like Demetrius Johnson. That's essentially what Stipe is to the heavyweight division. There's no one who's going to beat the man. He's on a different level. And, I just see him reigning for years and years. So.
Years and years.
I do.
Okay, fair enough. I really think that it'll be fine. It'll be interesting to see what happens when Kane returns. And I don't think Stipe is going to beat DC. I think DC's going to walk through this guy.
Oh, come on, Dave.
Yes.
You're killing me when you say stuff like that.
Undefeated at heavyweight. The guy has won the Strikeforce Grand Prix. Okay. And, I mean, who hasn't he beaten heavyweight?
Okay, yeah. Because he beat Bigfoot back in, 2011.
Mir.
Yeah.
Big Country.
Okay.
It's a whole list of...
Yeah. And none of these guys are on the level of Stipe Miocic. Okay, so that's
Stipe lost to Struve, you know this.
Okay, yeah, that was in 2013, 2014. That was a long time ago. Mm-hmm. He would demolish Struve right now.
I do agree with that, but I don't see Stipe stopping DC's wrestling.
You thought that Ngannou was going to decapitate Stipe, if I'm correct.
Ngannou gassed out, and yes, I did think he was going to decapitate him. But when he landed his punches, it rocked Stipe's world. I think Stipe just had a better game plan.
All right, so we're going to have to agree to disagree, and we want you to always return back here to MMA in the Basement. Please click like, share, put some comments down there. Let us know how we're doing. We want to hear your thoughts and your opinions. And this is Matthew C. Scarro with Deji Kufariji, and we are signing out.